Later this morning, we're going to be seeing the OCG ban list rip through here, and you can bet your butt that there's going to be a lot of interesting things happening because of that. Make sure you guys smash that and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. You know, Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend here is one of those cards that never really got the reprint, and it has maintained a pretty disgusting price over most of its life here. To be fair, you can buy an Italian copy up here from the Duelist Pack Dimensional Guardians for $9, which is not bad, but English is going to cost you about $12. And you come on down here to the Dark Illusion, it's going to cost you $11 for copies of these. Now, keep in mind, I mean, all real things considered, you can think a lot of the people wanting to upgrade their structure decks. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, when you're looking at a product and you're like, hey, you know, this is something that didn't receive said reprint, and now I want to be able to include this in my deck. Whether or not, you know, it's going to be good or not is an entirely another story at the end of the day. So, yeah, cool to see that this has maintained its ever-destructive price point here. Like, people are going to continue to spend $10 to $11 on this, especially now that you can get a Jack Atlas structure deck out of a box. More and more people are going to be enticed to continue to pick that up. Did you know that Tuner Scheme has not received a reprint? So I found out about this Monday on stream last week, and I actually forgot that we looked at this earlier in the week, and then I was like, wait a minute, no, Tuner Scheme. Activate only when a Synchro monster special summon to your opponent's side field. Gain control of that Synchro monster. When it is destroyed, it is removed from play. When it is removed from the field, destroy this card. This is just a continuous trap card that just takes control of an opponent's Synchro monster. Now, first edition copy is going to cost you $4 a piece for these, which a little bit more than I think people necessarily are going to want to pay for these, on upwards of the $5. It's also not like this card is worth a lot of money or a lot of the hype that you're kind of putting into it. It's just, it hasn't been reprinted. And this is just one of those cards that I think a lot of people just tend to forget about. Also, I mean, it is an old super rare. I'm also very surprised to see, once again, that this has not had a reprint up to this point in time. Oh, hey, Mystical Fairy Euphoria. Why is it does this card always tend to bump up a little bit? Once per turn, you can reveal a wind monster in your hand until your opponent's next turn. Neither player can exceed summon using monsters with a different level from the revealed monster as exceed material. I mean, this is a level 3 wind spellcaster, right? Yeah, that's all there really is to it, and I just saw that these were bumping up in price recently. The Advent Calendar runs from way back in the day are 20 cents, and that's it. There is no other real reason why this card should even be doing anything right now, unless there's some underground, you know, syndicate of duelists out here that suddenly think that, oh my gosh, you know, we need to play Alfuria. All right, no, there's nothing to this. Bambukis. You know, I was curious to see how Majespecter stuff is kind of settled, because, you know, we got the crazy rush of this. Everybody lost their minds, and has the stuff had time to settle back down? I would say so. Bambukas coming in $12. I mean, that's more than double what they were previously. You've also got $11 copies back here, which, once again, that's pushing down. All right, it's not amazing, but it's getting a lot better. Unicorns, well, $3-4. Cyclones at $10.50 now. Oof. This is something that I didn't actually see. The fact that Cyclone has bumped up to this insane price point, I gotta clap for it, man. People really want their Majespecter cards. Tornadoes coming in at 2s. Nekomatas, 40 cents, 30 cents. Yeah, I think the craziest thing right now that has happened is actually Cyclone bumping up from the former dollar price point that this was. That's actually insane. Somebody just bought $2 copies a couple days ago. Well, shucky darn, okay. World Gears of Theurical Demiurgy. Well, you know, to be honest with you, this card is one of those cards. It's 3 level 5s. Can't be used as link material. On Link Summon, this Link Summon card is unaffected by opponent's monster effects. And during your main phase, if you control this card that was Link Summon using 3 monsters that had 3 different attributes and types on the field, you can destroy all other cards on the field. And if your opponent's special summons a monster or monster from the extra deck, special summon one World Legacy from the deck. I don't really care about that. I care about the first effect here. Also, a 3500 that is immune to monster effects is actually pretty good. But you do see here, we've had a little bit of sale data. Not a lot, but it's enough that the card is kind of spinning back around in that dollar mark that you do want to keep an eye on. This is disgusting. Hydrants for the collector's rares have redecimated the market and have regained an insane amount of value. This is actually crazy. 120 on up to $125. And if you're like, Robbie, there's no way they're selling. Yeah, well, I have bad news. Somebody just paid $150 for them a couple days ago. This is disgusting. Yeah, people are very excited to pick up Rescue Ace cards. Ultras, 42s now. They're bumping up even harder. This is disgusting. 44s. Yep. Everybody, let's clap. You've lived long enough in this game to see Hydrants go even beyond the batshit crazy level of entertainment. Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. You know, first eds of these have been a quadrillion dollars for a while. I see some heavy plays just sold. Oh, well, that's cool. $55. 60. Oh boy, these do bump up. Nice light play there for, excuse me, nice mod play for $68. You can get a first ed for $90 for near mint, and that's it. Okay, so fossil dynas are just getting bought off of the face of the planet here for whatever reason. Well, that's very interesting to know. Okay, well, I guess the fact that people are looking at this card and they're losing their mind over this and wanting to pick this up and spend all of this money, okay, Gravekeeper's Inscription. Well, so remember, this was this kind of got destroyed by TCG Player itself because they released an article talking about cards that you might want to pick up. And we saw this card. It was $2, $3. And that article hits, and then they skyrocket up. Everybody complains about Yugi tubers talking about cards going up in value, but then when TCG Player itself makes an article on it, and we see the card, you know, shoot up in value, nobody points a finger at that. So if you're wondering why this went up, it was strictly because of that. All right, and the card's really good in terms of application, but the article definitely did push this up. Ice Jade ran a grind. We've talked a lot, and I mean a lot, about that new support coming down the pipeline here for ice barriers, which means that people are looking at this card going, oh, this is pretty good. $7 have been our recent sales on this, and they are turning up. I wouldn't be surprised to see this card eventually hit $8. You're down to 4 pages of this at the moment. This has been a very consistent turnover. A lot of people are very excited right now to get the chance to play this. And I mean, the Ice Jade Synchro is fantastic and ice barriers. I know a lot of people are looking at this card and they're like, wow, this is fantastic. I'm actually just glad that after all has been said and done with this, we're finally getting some application for this. N Pen. Oh boy. Well, you know, new ban list comes through here. $10, $12, $13, $14. Are you really surprised that I get to tell you today that Floowandereeze cards in general have started to go up because more and more people are looking at the new format applications and are like, hey, you know, this is actually kind of worth it. We can kind of return back to what we'd seen up to this point, and we can actually give this a shot. And I actually think that that's actually pretty cool. The fact that we are seeing players wanting to pick up Floowandereeze stuff is actually, I'm not surprised. The deck is pretty good. There can only be one collector's rares. Hey, we're back down. You know what? I'm glad to see that some people are listing back underneath the $100 range, considering the fact that these were completely decimated off the market. I see that you have a $300 listing back there, but outside of that, we are seeing the falling of this card. I have a feeling that we will see this bump back down. I think a lot of people, they saw the original price point for this and like, this is too much. So you're seeing that immediate repopulation effort of pushing this back down. And Lost Art Magician Salvations. I guess we've already hit the point that these are out. $3. Somebody just bought some near mints for $12 and then $10. Why? When there are plenty of, I guess people saw the light plays and they immediately flip out. They're like, ooh, I don't want to spend this money. Like, just be patient with these. The light plays in terms of collect, it's probably just them wanting to make sure that they're not going to lose anything, just because the rare hunters are ridiculous. So, that's all that we have for today's market. Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you. go!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.